Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Being select is about your level of sex appeal. Now, this is important, y'all, because of course, people talking select and non-select and putting it out there, and you get some men trying to say, well, he's select or you're not select, or they trying to come at you and stuff. Being select is ultimately about your level of sex appeal. Now, a bunch of men will try, who even know about that term or even follow that, be trying to put a bunch of other stuff in there, and it plays a part, but at the end of the day, it comes down to level of sex appeal. And how sexy does the woman see you? Like when women are looking at men, they always judging them on their level of sex appeal. Even if they dealing with them or encountering them in a situation where sex isn't going to happen. But they always looking at him like, oh, he could get it. Oh, no, he can't get it. In fact, it influences women to the point where it could even help a man get a job, get a great service at a restaurant, because they are moved more by sexual desire, sexual energy than most women realize. So when they looking at that man, it's based on, they're going to consider him select or non-select. How much does he turn them on? How much chemistry do they feel? And it's very powerful. That's how you got to look at it. It's like, it's interesting because some people will say, well, they got money, they got this and that. And yeah, that can influence a woman as far as socially. That can influence it, but it's still, you got to have that sexual sex appeal to her. Now, for those who are familiar, who read my book, I break the select and non-select down into even further categories. So, like with the select, you have Mr. Goodbar and you have the masked man. Now, here's the thing. Here's how it works with him. Mr. Goodbar just got raw sex appeal. He's going to have at least a good body build. Notice I say good body build. That's why I emphasize body game so strongly. The reason being, that's the base of sex appeal. Think about it another way for guys who even try to challenge that. What makes a woman sexy? What makes a woman sexy? And anybody who says, oh, it's just if she got a pretty face, don't get no pussy. Your penis is going in her vagina. It's her body. Even studies have shown, what do we go crazy over? When a woman has that fertile looking body, she got that figure 8. It's the body that draws us. So they, on their end, they are drawn very strongly to that man with a V shape. It's geometry, It's those numbers. So it's like, you just got to understand that. So if on a basic level, on a primal level, it's that physicality. But you also have to deal with her emotion and everything else. Then the second part of that is charisma. That's the connection. That's when you're touching a woman's emotions, her heart and everything. Because indeed, to really get a woman to have an orgasm, you got to hit her at her heart. Always remember that. I don't care what your physicality is. You open her heart, open her emotions. That opens the path for her to have multiple orgasms. So, that charisma, people put in mouthpiece there and everything, but it's really just making that connection to her. It's like if you go on a date with a woman, right? All right, y'all both look good and everything, but you get on that date, can't talk about anything. Any potential that was there goes away. Indeed, what do women say? He looked good till he opened his mouth. So the charisma plays a part in the sexual thing. But then you still got a third part, masculinity. See, you get some guys out here thinking, well, if you just look good or you got money, that's all you need. But what if you look good but act effeminate? Well, a woman's not going to be turned on by that. A woman is not going to be turned on by that. The man still got to behave in a masculine manner and which is active. Think about the sperm and the egg. The egg just, once the egg comes down the fallopian tube and embeds itself in the uterus, it's just sitting there chilling. It's sitting there like, It's not leaving the body going to find the sperm and get it and then come back. So in order for a man to impregnate a woman, he has to take some action. He has to be active to excite himself enough to release sperm. And that sperm is swimming. That's active. That's active. So on a deeper level, women look for a man who has active energy. He ain't just like Eeyore and stuff. He's that guy with that vigor, that vitality. Oh, and that vitality plays a part too. That vitality plays a part because when that sperm hits that egg, and science has confirmed this, there's an energy spurge. There's an energy, spike. I'll say spike. Anyway, there's an energy thing. It's like, boom, they've recorded this. So they look on a deep level, the man who has sex appeal, he's going to have a certain physical frame. And, of course, some guys will say, well, no, it's just the face. They don't get pussy. She's looking at the frame. There's plenty of guys with a face who are having trouble getting women. Now, it's the physicality. Man, if you got that face and everything, oh, that's great. Trust me, that's icing. But on a primal level, it's the physicality. It's the physicality. So you got the, on that basic level, if you got that good body build, you have that charisma, you have that masculine vitality, that energy, that drive, it does something to the woman. It does something. Just like for a woman, what makes a woman really sexy? The thing that makes a woman really sexy is she got that body. Oh, she got that body. She got a receptive attitude. She's cooperative. She's ready to receive his seed. And then part of that too is her femininity. Feminine energy is more passive. That's why you can get a woman, she got a nice body. She just go someplace and just smile and just go cross her legs. Guys gonna come up running. So on that basic level, that's the sex appeal. Now focusing just on the men, the guys who are in the Mr. Goodbar category got it. Now you got the next level, the mass men. They still select, but not as select. They don't have that raw sex appeal. Now they do have some sex appeal. They have to at least have a good physicality, at least. At a minimum. They got to have a good physicality. They got to have some money. They got to have some status. People who talk the looks, money, and status thing, boom. Because part of that too is an artificial thing. Is what people, depending on the culture they in, think they should get. But it is a level. It's like if you use like a number system, I will put Mr. Goodbar at 100. I would put the masked man at about 75. He don't got the same thing, but he got enough. So he's hitting a woman on a social thing, but then he still has enough physicality to get to that, get the woman's attention and everything. And then even with that situation, he doesn't have that raw sexual charisma. And depending, he might, sometimes he don't have that like same masculine drive. Yeah, he's masculine, but not that same vitality. A woman don't feel him. Indeed, sometimes women get around that type of man and she'll say, you know what, he got everything on paper, but something's missing. Right? So that's just the select level. But then when you talk about the gamesmen, the non-select, you got the gamesmen, you got the nice guy, the gamesmen. These are guys who they do whatever. They chase, they lie, they do whatever. They are typically non-select. Typically. And not typically always non-select. But they'll still get theirs. They'll still get something, but they gotta do a lot of work. And then they gotta be reading the women and everything. And the reality is, and I've said this in a video before, it's when women deal with them, it's because the women can't get the top two. And in fact, I would say this. Gamesmen are typically, they non-select, but they non-select in the same way an ugly, overweight woman is like not the ideal for a man. Yet they still get sex. And contrary to popular belief, sometimes if a woman needs something, she'll deal with that guy. but he is the equivalent of a plain face, overweight woman, or even an ugly overweight woman. Because let's be real, a lot of guys be messing with them. A lot of guys be messing with these jacked up looking women, but they don't want to be seen with them. They ain't trying to marry them, but they there. And sometimes, and women see the gamesmen the same way, but the sex appeal ain't really there. It's like, what the woman's like, oh, hell yeah, what's up? All right, yeah. He can be a walking dildo to her, And even then, that dude still got to work hard. He still got to do a lot. And he still got to be in the right place at the right time or find the right target. And then finally, you get the nice guy. The nice guy just don't have sex appeal, period. He comes off like a woman's brother. Now, he'll understand something with the nice guy thing. When women say nice, they ain't mean he's like some great virtuous individual. I've argued with some people who said that too, but they don't mean all that. Nice is woman needs for a woman saying he don't turn her on. When a woman say, oh, you nice, they don't have nothing to do with his virtue. Because a lot of so-called nice guys don't have it. If a woman say, see, he don't turn them on at all. Not even to the level of a gamesman. That dude, that's why they say nice. Now, you do have some nice guys who got some good virtue and all of that. They're a small percentage. Most nice guys, they'll say they nice, but if you ask the woman, really ask her, she'll say, well, no, he just don't turn on. See, here's a little bit of more of woman needs. When they call a man bad, that means he's sexy. So when they call a man nice, he's not sexy. And often when they talking about that bad boy or something, like if they look at a man and say, you so bad, that means he's turning that woman on. In fact, indeed, Mr. Goodbar types are typically can be known as bad boys. Can be known as bad boys. All of them not, but still. When women say you a bad boy, that means she's turned on sexually. When she say you're a nice guy, you're not turning her on sexually. And even then with women, and this is just an aside, you gotta listen to the way they say it. Like shout out Cousin T-Tar, he had pointed out in a webinar, he said a woman can say hi to you and it mean 3 different things. See, just understand in general, I need to go on this tangent. When women speak, you can't just listen to the words coming out their mouth, but the tone in which they say it. Like a woman could walk by, see a guy, she think he fine, she like, hi. All right, she's turned on. She walked by, she's like, hi. And keep walking. It's like, nah, she has zero interest in him. So it's all in the tone. Or she could be like, hey, or like if she say fine, she like, oh, the dude say, how you feeling? She's like, fine. She's probably mad about something. But if she say, oh yeah, oh gracious, I'm fine. Understand that. And that's a whole other thing with communication. But when they call a guy nice, he don't turn them on sexually. So that's the thing to understand. See, when I say select, non-select, it's purely a sexual hierarchy. It's purely a sexual hierarchy. At a minimum, you need to really have appealing physical appearance. Appealing, I'm saying at the minimum. And even then, it's still not enough. Like I said, it's not quite 100, but it's there. Like the masked man has to have a physical appearance, and then the other stuff is more pragmatic on their part. The Mr. Goodbars, they're going to have an appealing physical appearance, appealing body at the minimum, but then also charisma, and they're going to have that masculine energy. They're going to have that vitality, and it's going to hit a woman at a primal level. So that's what being select is all about, that level of sex appeal. All right. So anyway, that's all I got for today. I'll get back with y'all later. Peace and blessings.